The Jim Norton Show starts now.
Hello. Happy Wednesday. That's from now on how I'm going to do it. Good way to start today. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and the best gift for mom is the gift of relaxation from pajamagram.com. A pajamagram is the softest gift for the hardest job. Of course, being a mom being the hardest job. They have a great selection of pajamas that moms are guaranteed to love. Check out pajamagram.com, or if you're one of these internet haters, call 1-800-GIVE-PJs, and they'll help you choose the perfect pajamas for your mom, wife, or daughter. They have over 100 styles and sizes to fit every mom, all made from the best fabrics, plus great bath and body spa products, too. All the stuff women love. The presentation is awesome, so you don't have to wrap a thing. Every pajamagram comes in a free gift package, including lavender bath confetti, a do not disturb sign, and a personalized gift card. It's all in a beautiful hat box that she's going to love. Dad, it's your job to get your wife a gift from the kids and yourself, so Pajamagram's perfect. Be sure to check out their mommy and me sets, matching pajamas for the mother and kids. She'll love it, and it's a gift that you know she's going to use over and over. This Mother's Day, spoil your mom or wife or daughter with kids with a pajamagram. Overnight delivery is guaranteed. What are you waiting for? Just visit pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs, pajamagram.com. Figured I'd start off with a read. I have two reads today, but why not start off with one? So this way, the callers can call.
If you want to call, 866-969-1969.
You know, I've been dieting, and on my way back to the studio, Jenny Hutt gave me... I try not to eat these diet bars because they're all sugar, but she said this one is not bad. It's called Go Free, and it's a gluten-free dark chocolate trail mix. I only had half of the bar. She said it's like 170 calories. I'm wondering if that's bad.
It's going to make you shit, though.
I don't care. I try not to eat these things, though, because they're just sugar, and they're just basically like candy bars. So I'm just starving. I get nauseous sometimes. I drink too much coffee.
But you eat a lot during the show. I mean, it's good stuff, but you eat a lot during the show.
Well, in 4 hours, I eat egg whites, scrambled egg white omelet with tomatoes and stuff and some vegetables in it. And then I have some fat-free plain yogurt with blueberries and strawberries. And people will be like, they have sugar, but I don't care. They're cancer fighters.
And sometimes you have oatmeal, too, right?
Very occasionally, a little bit of carbs, yeah. Let's see, Andrew in New York. Cousin slept with your girlfriend behind your back. I love everyone in this story so far.
Hi, Jim. Big fan.
Hi, buddy. Thank you.
Last summer, I was seeing this girl who ended up sleeping with my cousin behind my back. These 8 months have passed by, and they're in love and getting married soon.
Wow.
My cousin called me to be a groomsman, but I don't want any part of the wedding because I can't look at that jizz bag for more than 3 seconds.
How long did you date her for?
Me and her were on and off for about 3 months. Very casual, no strings attached. But the whole thing is the reason why he I'm sorry. I just got people typing by.
Right.
I don't know. It just bothered me that I lost his trust,
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, he did it behind your back, even though you two weren't in love. Still, it's kind of sneaky and shitty to do. But are you going to have to see him for the rest of your life, or do you not have to interact with him?
No, yeah. I'm going to be interacting with him for a lot of time. I see him all the time. It's just now the big issue is he wants me at his wedding, and I said no. So
well, now that's a tough call because if you're going to have to see him and his family, if you want to hold on to the resentment, then hold on to it. But there might come a point where you're going to have to move on or just have an uncomfortable family relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of gotten past, holding a grudge against him. It's just I can't stand her. I can't be in a room with her for more than 3 seconds. I detest her. And, now, I mean, the family's 50-50 on it. I had people that tell me I should go to the wedding and I should just, quit being a baby and just, let it go. But
I don't think you're being a baby.
Yeah, I thank you, because everybody else is quick to say, oh, you shouldn't be overreacting if there's no strings attached. The biggest thing is that I lost his trust, and me and him were really close before.
You know what? This one might be very simple. If you want to go, go, and if you don't. It really is that simple. Who cares what anybody else says? Fuck the family. Yeah. Fuck me. If you feel like, hey, man, I can kind of move past this right now, I'm going to go. But if not, then fuck both of them. Don't go. You know what I mean? They did shit behind your back. It was sneaky. And now just because they're getting married doesn't mean that you have to co-sign them sneaking around behind your back.
Exactly. And you know what the funny thing is he revealed it at my brother's birthday party. And the funny thing is 2 weeks before I was with her. And I told her I would be a very transparent guy, that if I wanted to be with somebody else, I'd do it. And I expected the same from her. And both of them get to the party, and they don't say shit to me. Like, the whole time, they're very sneaky.
Yeah.
And, like, 5 hours into the party, my cousin's like, yeah, I want to talk to you. So, you know, I kind of smelled the rat. So then when he told me, I kind of thought, all right, you know, it's not a problem. But I didn't think they're going to get married, you know.
All right, well, there's not. I mean, look, dude. Thank you very much for the call. I thank you very much, Andrew. I will say that you know, you got to do what you feel right doing, and it's just going to be, you're either going to want to or you're not. But if you really feel resentment and you don't want to look at her, then fuck them. Don't honor them by going to your wedding. You don't have to. You don't have to go to a wedding just because it's family. Oh, it's your family. Well, fuck them. Then he should have thought of that before he fucked the girl you were dating. And if it happened to work out where they are in love and they were meant to be, that's okay. But they didn't go about it the right way, so maybe their punishment should be you don't show up at their shitty wedding. So let's talk about, we have a couple of CPAP questions. Let's talk to Tim in Virginia, who has a CPAP question.
Yeah, how you doing, Jeff?
Hi, buddy.
Well, I have a CPAP, and I just spent the night at a girl's house, and I didn't bring it in. I didn't bring it with me because I was a few hours away from home, and I was afraid to go to sleep. So I just sat up all night watching really bad television to keep from going to sleep. What do I do?
You bring the machine. Like, I understand, like, I have the same fear of falling asleep, but because, you know, a lot of times, like last night I had a bad night. I'm very tired today. My central apnea was killing me. Like, I just kept waking up. So I was having a fucking, a very frustrating night. So I understand that fear of going to sleep. But if you didn't have the machine with you because you just didn't have it, that's one thing. But if you left it home because you were socially embarrassed.
Right. Yeah.
Which was exactly
it? Oh, I was embarrassed.
All right, well, then don't be embarrassed anymore. Tell her beforehand, hey, look, I use this machine because without it, I might die. And if she can't deal with that, then fuck her. But most women are fine with that, dude. Like, you know what? It's after you fucked. You put it on, you go to sleep. You don't have to, you know, it's like you don't do anything while you're sleeping. So never be embarrassed again, or make the priority pick. You being asleep and comfortable is more important than what a broad is going to think of you. And chances are it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Right.
So that was silly to be embarrassed, dude. Don't be like that anymore.
All right. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Now, Tucker in Fort Worth has apnea. Yes, Tucker?
Hey, Jim. I'm 32. I just got a CPAP machine, and I am having hell with these masks. And as I recall, I remember you talking on the show that you'd had trouble finding one that fit, and I was wondering if you had any tips. I've got the full face mask now, and I end up drooling in it, and then it leaks, and I wake myself up, and I don't know what.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I've only I wake up with it off for like half that time.
You're brand new. It could take 6 months, and I'm not saying that for me it's been a year, but I don't have the right machine, and you know, the doctors, the situation with the sleep center I've dealt with has not been good, and it's been extraordinarily frustrating. And I really do want to go on the air and tell you which one they are. And again, I would only say that my experience with them was extraordinarily unsatisfying. But 2 weeks out from what people I know who have learned to use the masks, 2 weeks is very new. Keep giving it time. You'll find the mask that works for you if this one doesn't. There's also custom fitted masks, which I would like to investigate, where you can, they're expensive, but you can have a mask made for your face. But don't give up. You just started. Eventually, from what they tell me, it will change your life. And I hold on to that. And, you know, when Doug was in the other day, we talked about God. And, you know, I don't know how I feel about God. I go back and forth. I want to believe. And thank you very much for the call, Tucker. I would suggest just continue to try. But, it's like I really do want to believe in God, but it's really hard to. And then when I do believe in God, I fucking hate his guts. Because it's like I have a great life, but it's like, I can't even go to sleep without fucking dreading it. I just want to lay down and go to sleep, and I can't. So you just do the right thing. So I do the right thing, and I do the right thing, and it doesn't matter. It's still not working. So that makes me just angry. Maybe if it's not God, it's just the universe or my own fucking face. Yes.
Did you ever? I know you're doing the CPAP and all that stuff, but did you ever try something as simple as the thing that dentists can make, where they mold it just to move your jaw? Maybe that's just something that simple.
I slept with one last night. I sleep with one every night. It's a mouth guard. It pushes your jaw forward. But and I'll be very brief with this, but I have what they call complex apnea, which is CPAP, constant positive airway pressure. I think it helps regular apnea, which is the physical apnea is when your tongue blocks, and that's what the jaw pushed forward mouth guard does. If you just snore, a mouth guard might work for you because when it pushes your jaw forward, it gives you a little more room in the throat for the air to go through, and it helps. But the central apnea, that doesn't help because it has nothing to do with my tongue. It's the brain signal. So CPAP does not work for that because when I just stop, like when you're going and you're trying to breathe, the machine senses that you're trying to breathe and forces air in, or it just constantly forces air in. When I have, which is what CPAP and BiPAP do, but I don't need those because when I don't breathe, when I just go and I just stop, there's no effort to breathe because my cunt brain doesn't send the signal. The machine doesn't pick up that that's happening. So I just go, and I wake up gasping in a mask. It's a fucking abomination. And I told these fucking faggot doctors, it's central fucking complex apnea, dummies. And this fucking, I'll never forget these techs. The 2 sleep studies I did, they're all dopes. The one tech tells me, I don't even think you have sleep apnea. And then the next time I come back, I'm like, I want to be tested on a fucking ASV machine, which is the one it's very expensive, but it senses when you're not breathing and it deals with complex apnea. And the fucking female tech comes in and goes, no, you don't need that. That breathes for you. And it's like, well, that's what I need, stupid. Why am I yelling? I'm sorry. I just get angry every time I think of these fucking people. And to answer the guy for Richmond, John, I know I didn't have the surgery, but again, that's what they put in those pillars in the back of your throat. I've had the sinus surgery, but that won't help me because, again, it's complex apnea. Let's see. Brian in Washington State, separated from his wife. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
I'm okay, buddy. I'm a little cranky because I'm so tired, but thank you. How are you?
No kidding. I'm doing great. I love you on Red Eye.
Thank you, buddy.
Every time I hear you on OBN, you're great.
Thank you.
So I figure who better to call, right, than my question. So here's the deal. My wife and I were separated for a while, like, say, 6 months. Didn't really talk, and it was really bad because she used to be my best friend, and we would get along, but we suddenly didn't, and horrible fighting all the time. Couldn't go 2 words without fighting. So I move out, and she starts seeing some guy. Good guy. He's friends with me on Facebook. Starts seeing him, and I don't know why it was bugging me because it shouldn't have bugged me.
Sure, it should have. It's normal. Wait, you knew the guy or you didn't know him?
Oh, I did know him. I knew him.
Yeah, of course it would bother you. Why shouldn't it? We're not robots. Even though, you shouldn't go over there with a fucking butcher knife. You shouldn't act on it. But yeah, of course, bothering you is pretty normal for a while. If it's been 10 years, maybe not. But that's normal.
Well, it was kind of bothering me anyway. And so so I was talking with some friends at dinner, and I was trying to go out there and date and see what's out there, but I wasn't really interested. So it came down to one day I'm having dinner with some friends, and I'm talking to this guy's wife, who's kind of a counselor, and she says, well, Brian, I think it's because you're still in love with her. And I said, well, yeah, of course I'm still in love with her. Sure. So then I said, okay, from this day forward, I'm not going to fight with her. I'm not going to disrespect her. I'm not going to yell. I just want to get along. We have kids, so forth and so on. So I write her an email and just say, look, I'm sorry I didn't treat you right. Blah, 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 went on. Just, I wasn't trying to break them up or anything.
Right.
And so then I go over to the house and then we have sex. Like she wants to have sex with me.
Okay.
And we've always had great sex. I love the woman. She's, sensual. And anyway, so the bottom line is, here's my problem. So she still wants to see this other guy, not date. She says she's not going to sleep with him anymore. But, it's like little texts once in a while. And
you know what, dude?
Checking the text like some psychopath. And never check your text.
I'm not. I've never been married, and I say this every time, but fuck her. Like, unless one of two things is happening. Either she just wants what she wants and that's it, or she really loves you but doesn't trust that you're going to change if you need to change, or doesn't trust that the relationship will work. So she's keeping this little light bridge back to this guy. How old is she?
40.
Yeah, 40. Okay. So at 40, you have kids?
Yeah, 3.
Okay. So it's a lot harder for a 40-year-old woman with kids to find a guy than it is for a 40-year-old man to find a woman, because that's a lot of baggage for a guy to take on as a woman with kids. So the fact that she has another guy, it's probably, and what if things with you don't work out? Then she's left with nothing. So maybe she wants you, but is keeping a little hook into him just as a safety line for a little while. How long have you been fucking her again?
Oh, it's been going on for like a month.
Yeah, a month.
I shit you not, Jim. It's been probably out of the 30 days, maybe 24 out of the 30.
Okay, so maybe you're how long was she with him?
So like 3 months.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't. You know what? I would say give her a break on this one for a little while. It's only a month. Does she look like she wants to get back with you?
Oh, she said it. I guess what's bothering me, Jim, is that I know I have no right to tell her to stop seeing the guy. I don't, because we were pretty much on our way to divorce court.
So what you do, dude, is keep fucking her right and treat her right. And if she's treating you right, she probably won't want to see him after a short amount of time. Most of her wanting to see him, you're the father of her kids, you're putting good dick to her. It literally is probably just a safety line. So if all of a sudden she found a guy who will tolerate a 40-year-old woman with 3 kids, let's just say you fuck her for 2 months and then get bored and take off again or act like a dick, then she's got nothing. So I think if she realizes things with you might work out, she might let this other guy go, okay?
All right, that makes me feel
Thank you, buddy. Good luck to you.
Bye.
Henry in Jacksonville says he has something to share about CPAP. Oh! Yes, Henry. Hello? Did we lose? Oh, God, I hope his CPAP didn't shut off. He's dead! Now, Dave in New Mexico wants to know how I lost the weight.
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
Dave, you want to know how I lost the weight?
Well, yeah, the only reason why I asked you is because, I heard you mention on the show one day you're about 5'6", and you were up to at 185.
I'm close to, first of all, closer to 5'7", and I got to 181 a few years ago, but I was tapping out at about 165, 170 was my average weight for the last couple of years.
See, I fluctuate between 178 and 190.
Yeah.
And I'm sick and tired of this fucking yo-yo. It depresses me.
How tall are you?
And I work out. The working out it's the diet part.
It's all diet, dude. It's I apologize for the interrupting you, but it's all diet. You know what I mean? It's like everyone says that exercise is important, but it's 80% diet. What I do is you can go online and find some great workouts, but I was mixing it up. I was going almost every day. A little bit of cardio, doing some weights, and not expecting instant results. My diet is in the morning. And again, I'm lucky because I have a pretty regimented schedule as far as performing. In the morning, I eat egg white omelet with no meat in it, just like some what like I said, green peppers, red peppers, tomatoes, whatever. And then I'll have some fat-free yogurt with fruit of some sort. In the afternoon, maybe I'll eat some grilled chicken or some salmon or some tilapia with some steamed vegetables because I eat at the gym. They have a good little place to eat there. And then at night, I eat tabbouleh salad, which is a lot of parsley and stuff, and I have it with a couple of olives and a skewer of grilled chicken. So I eat a lot of sushi, more than I should. That's the one bit of rice I get that I shouldn't have. But
my whole thing is kind of I think I'm a food addict.
You might be. I mean, that's a tough addiction. That's a very tough addiction, food. So why don't you try this? There are 12-step meetings for food. There's Overeaters Anonymous and these other programs. Why don't you try one of those for a little while and see if it resonates with you?
I will. I'll do so.
And then make yourself go to the gym, too, dude. I know none of us want to because we go to the gym, we look in the mirror. What that?
That's not the issue. The gym, it's the food.
Okay.
It's just I feel like it's I should reward myself. Or
I do. Please.
I've been doing good for 2 weeks. And
I know.
I'm gonna reward myself, and then I get in that cycle of eating like shit.
Yeah, dude. It's a very cunning and powerful and baffling thing. The way our mind talks to us. I was doing the same thing. I'll reward myself. But now when I reward myself, like if I'm going to Anthony's, like on Christmas, I went over there, or if I'm going to Bob Kelly's on Thanksgiving, you know what? I've been eating so good for like a year now or 8 months. Like rewarding myself literally is one night. I don't reward myself 2 or 3 nights. Or if I'm out and I have some fruit for dessert, like I'll have, and we're going to let you go because your phone keeps cracking, but thank you. I'll have some like fruit for dessert, like berries, and a little bit of whipped cream I'll dip it into. I just got to stop bullshitting myself. I can't eat candy and fucking cake and mayonnaise and fattening food. It's like, that's why I put weight on. So good luck, buddy. Let's see. Let me see what this guy is. Psycho Bob from Baltimore.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good. 2 things. First thing is I had sleep apnea. I ignored it for years, and finally got a machine. First night, worked perfectly. Haven't had a problem since then. It's been like 5 years since I had it.
I envy you. You're probably a guy that fell asleep well, too. Like, I'm a guy that, can't fall asleep, and then I don't sleep once I am asleep. But I really envy that, but I'm happy to hear that it's working.
I was lucky. I was really lucky.
Yeah.
Second thing is a couple months ago, you made a comment on the show, and usually, like you're real funny when you come up with serious stuff, and it really hit me and hit home, and I wanted to mention it to you, was that you were talking about religion, and you said that you believed in God, not really organized religion, but you believed in God because if there wasn't a God, then once we die, we cease to exist. That really hit it on the head for me.
Oh, I was saying, I think I was saying why I want to believe in a God. Like, meaning, why is it important for me to believe in a God? I think that's when Penn Jillette was in. And I think I was saying, like, why I want to believe. I want to believe that it's true. And I really do want to believe that it's true. And I think he was saying why. Like, he was quoting Christopher Hitchens, saying that God is punishing and God is awful, and why do we need to believe? And I was saying, like, well, that's a good question. Here's why I want to believe. And again, it's hard, so I don't know if I do or not. I'm up in the air.
Well, we won't know the answer. We won't ever know the answer till we get to that point. But I like the philosophy, and I appreciated hearing it.
Thank you, buddy. But for me, that's why I just don't want to cease to exist. I want to continue in some form, and that's all technology is about. That's all we are about as a species. And thank you for the call, Bob. Is trying to continue to exist, to stretch life. Not just to endure life and to have a life, but to stretch it. We want to exist. And that's probably, if God is a man-made creation, that's probably what it is. That's probably human beings creating a way where we continue to exist until the technology will actually allow us to exist forever, which I firmly believe it will. Now, let me ask John in Louisiana, says tilapia is really bad for you. Now, let me hear this. John, why do you say that?
Yeah, let's jump right from God to bad fish, Jim. How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Look, I want to discourage you and the listeners from tilapia because it's been it was good whenever it was wild caught, but now they're farm raising it, kind of like they've done with catfish. But they genetically modify tilapia. They found the males grow faster than the females. They found if they added testosterone to the feed, all the fish turn into males. So they're genetically modifying the feed, plus it's corn and all this stuff that creates these omega-6 acids in the fish, which omega-6s aren't good for you.
Okay.
So tilapia is really bad for you. And you can look all this stuff up. It's all been researched.
Okay, I believe it.
It's not good. Anyways, but on the good stuff. Hey, are you going to go to Bonnaroo this year?
Thank you very much for the call. No, I will not be going to Bonnaroo. They haven't invited me, but maybe next year. Every few years you get the call from them. And thanks for the information on the tilapia. In my gym, there's a few options. There's there's good salmon and then there's some grilled chicken and there's tilapia, the 3 main ones. But now I eat tilapia, honestly, probably once a week. It's usually chicken or salmon, but now I'll lay off that. So thank you very much. Now, Susan in Pennsylvania wants to know if she should stay with her boyfriend because of their financial situation. Ooh, do tell, Sue.
Well, I mean, when I first started dating my boyfriend, we were, 19 years old, and I don't think I really realized, the implications of him being disabled and legally blind.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and the fact that he was on Social Security disability.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they kicked him off of it because despite his efforts that, he tried to make sure that, he was under the amount that he could actually make. And I guess he ended up making too much, despite the fact that he called Social Security number.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's your dilemma now? You're with this guy for how long?
10 years.
Oh, wow. Quite a while. Now, do you love him?
Yeah, I do love him, but it's just like at the moment he owes the government like $40,000. He works like 60 hours a week, so like I rarely, if ever,
What
see
does he
him.
do?
He is in the IT field.
Isn't he blind?
Yeah.
What's he?
You can be legally blind but still be able to see.
Oh, okay.
He can't drive.
Sure, okay. So he makes money, but now you love him. He makes money. What's the issue?
I mean, the fact that he has like $40,000, we barely are able to keep our heads afloat, to like sustain.
You're 19 when you met this guy. You're probably tired of fucking the same guy. Are you bored with him?
No, I'm not bored with him. I mean, I love him a lot. I think he's a great guy. It's just, it doesn't feel like you're in a relationship when, he's not able to be there for me as much as he would like to be.
Well, is it because he's just working a lot?
It's because he's working a lot, but also because, like I said, he owes the government $40,000. He's got student loans. He's got credit card debt from buying things that we absolutely necessities for our home, like a refrigerator, a stove, that kind of shit.
Okay, so why would you think of leaving him? Just because he's been really busy trying to pay off stuff responsibly? I think he guy's busting his ass. Like if he was working 10 hours a week, he'd be, your phone call would be, and he doesn't do anything, and we got debt, but he won't pay it off, and he's lazy, and he's sleeping all day, and I'm sick of looking at him. It's like I've had this fight with girlfriends before. There's never a happy medium. Like, they want you to work 40 hours a week or the exact amount of hours you need to pay for everything comfortably and enough time to give them exactly what they need. But, sweetheart, that's not always possible. Like, in an ideal world, but if he's paying off stuff, let him work the extra hours and pay it off while he can.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. It's just he doesn't make that much. So, it's, difficult to imagine, we'll able to save for the future? Will we be able
What
to
do you do? What kind of work do you do?
I'm unfortunately, I was a student, but I was suffering from anxiety issues from my past that I'm trying to sort out at the moment.
So you're not working, right? You're not working?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so here you are. This guy's busting his ass for 60 hours a week with his shitty eyesight and his dumb face pressed up against the computer. It's probably really uncomfortable to look at. And you're not working? Like I don't care why. You can, even though this guy can't see for shit. Like, he probably doesn't see a basketball until it's bouncing off his forehead. And you are figuring out why you can't work. How about you get a job? You will not have nearly as much time to think about how your needs are not being met. And you won't have enough time to think about, he's not available for me. You need him to be available for you because you have so much time on your hands. Why don't you go out and get a 40-hour-a-week job? You won't have as much time in your hands. B, you'll empathize. Go ahead.
I have tried in the past to get jobs, and I have worked. It's not like I've constantly perpetually sat on my ass, which I do feel guilty about. I really do.
How long have you been sitting on your ass?
A couple months.
Okay. Why aren't you working 40 hours a week and contributing to the pot?
That's kind of also my dilemma. Is the only jobs that I can obtain, because I don't really have anything past a high school education, is minimum wage paying jobs, and maybe that's fucking selfish of me. I'm it feels pretty selfish of me, but it's really difficult to stay in customer service jobs where they're so demanding, and I'm not really a people-oriented person.
Yeah, listen. I'm listening to what you're saying, Susan. You're being selfish, and I know that you may have issues, but you want everything. You want a better paying job, but you don't have the education. You want a boyfriend who gives you more time, but you guys have bills. You want. And it's I'm not, why don't you just, instead of wanting, why don't you do? And by doing, even if you're right, minimum wage jobs suck. They don't pay great. But you know what? It beats sitting on your ass doing nothing but worrying about your boyfriend not giving you enough attention. Like, if it's character building, first of all, to work. And in this shitty economy, if you can get a job and put something into what you guys are building or trying to build, then that will help alleviate some of your problems. I still think there's more going on than you're saying. Maybe not that you're lying, but I think that there's something going on that you're not indicating. I don't think you like him as much as you're saying, because if you did, you wouldn't be like, should I just stay with this guy for financial support when you're not even working? Like, instead of saying, wow, what a great guy, he puts up with me fucking lounging around doing nothing.
Oh no, I think he is a great guy for the fact that he puts up with all my bullshit. Because, like, you know, I'm not saying that I'm completely devoid of bullshit.
Right? No, you're not.
I absolutely am.
I'd say in this situation, you've given me 80% bullshit. So I'm going to let you go, but I appreciate the call. My suggestion would be to get a job, contribute something, and stop whining about what you're not getting. And then if you're doing all that stuff and you still feel like, hey, I'm not getting enough, then to me you have a legitimate gripe. But until that, you don't. Let's see. Okay, now someone's saying tilapia is fine. Now, Jim from Jersey. I'm a Jim from Jersey, Eric. So let's take Jim from Jersey.
Yes, that's me.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are
First
you?
of all, before I get started, I want to congratulate you on telling that lazy bitch to get off her ass and get a job and stop fucking complaining.
Thank you. That's exactly how I should have said it, too.
Yeah, fucking bitch. Anyway, listen. I'm trying to lose probably about 5 pounds. I'm 5'9". I weigh 189 pounds. For me to drop down to what it says I'm supposed to be, I'd be a skinny thing. I work out all the time, so I'm on this no-carb diet. It's fucking impossible to find stuff that has absolutely no carbs. Everything has a carb here or there. Like, what are you doing? Are you completely doing no carbs?
No way. I absolutely hate no carb diets. They're great for immediate weight. And again, I'm certainly not a health, but I train with 2 different women just because it's really hard to get. They're both very, very busy. So one of them I was talking to, and I said to her about the carbs, and she's like, yeah, eat brown rice. She's like, you gotta have some carbs. Most really healthy people say that some carbs, if you try to eat them earlier in the day, are fine, and your body needs them. If you're eating a healthy, and it sounds so corny, a healthy, balanced diet, and you're exercising, and you're not bullshitting, you will lose the weight, or you'll be at the weight you're supposed to be at. I personally don't think no-carb diets are good. I think that you need some carbs, but a lot of times we eat the wrong kinds, or we eat them at the wrong times, or we mix and match the wrong shit with them, so I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because there is good carbs.
Yeah.
There's good carbs and there's bad carbs. You just got to stay away from the white flour.
Right.
You're supposed to stay away from bread. Because also, the weight scale, like I'm 5'9", it says I should be 176 pounds. If I was 176 pounds, I'd be a fucking skinny little nothing. I work out 3-4 times a week, you know, and now I'm just trying to lose just enough to show the definition in my stomach. And I work with my son, and he breaks my balls every time I go to get something. He tells me there's carbs in there. It's impossible. Even steamed vegetables have carbs.
Yeah, exactly. And steamed vegetable. There's other things in life besides carbs. Like there's cancer-fighting things in vegetables and fruits. And to me, like I would rather do a little bit of extra work or cut something else out of the diet and eat something that fights cancer or fights the growth of tumors. So I would suggest fucking eat fruits and vegetables. I hate when people say the fruits and vegetables are bad. Any diet that tells you not to eat fruits and vegetables is a fucking shit diet.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, don't eat vegetables? What the fuck is wrong with these places? Thank you for the call, buddy, and good luck. I'm sure you'll lose it.
Thank you.
Take care. It's hard, though. Rob in Jersey said he made out with a gal, but she stopped him, and then later she asked him to come over. How does this work? Rob, you and your saucy story are on the air.
Hey, so basically, I met this girl at a dog park, and then we've been hanging out.
Oh, that's no way to talk about her, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Anyways, we start making out after going out one night, and she stops me and says, "Why would you be doing this? Where did you think that it was going this direction?"
How old is she?
She's 21.
Okay.
And I basically said, just felt like the natural progression of things. But if you want to stop, it's not like I'm emotionally invested at this point.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, we're just supposed to be friends, blah, blah, blah. And I go up to my place, she cabs home, and then I get a text from her saying, this might be stupid, but you should come over.
Did you?
Yeah.
What happened?
we hooked up.
Okay. So what that's about, it looks like a lot of times women don't want to feel like whores. It's the oldest thing in the book, but women are taught that you're supposed to say no, even when you want to say yes. And that's why men sometimes misinterpret their no's as yeses, because we're like, well, women have been taught that, but no, she actually means no. It's hard to figure out sometimes. So because you played it cool and weren't a douchebag about it, you probably didn't make her feel pressured and obligated, and therefore not like a whore. Like she had some control. You left.
Right.
So then she's like, well, fuck, I did want to fool around with this guy. So you played it right. A lot of times if a girl thinks, hey, it's fine if we don't fuck, she'll fuck. Not always, but a lot of times the problem women have is the obligation men feel. Like, okay, I'm in your apartment, you owe me pussy. And I never play it like that. When I'm with girls, I mean, again, I will occasionally have, the ones in my life that didn't want to do anything. But I get a lot farther than a lot of people, and I think it's because they really know that they're under no pressure to do anything. Like, I'm not going to go fucking ballistic and try to force feed you dick if you don't want to suck my dick. So you played it right, and you were like, good, fine, I'll just go home. And then that made her go, well, hey, I kind of wanted to fuck this guy. So good for you, my friend.
All right, thanks for the advice, man.
All right, next time, take what's yours. Oh, let's see here. How about Mark in Colorado, who's religious his whole life? Mark?
Yeah, man. I was raised, believed, hook, line, and sinker. You couldn't have, faltered my belief. And then as an adult, I got rocked pretty hard and have just added it up, and I just don't believe anymore.
Yeah.
However, my problem is because whatever happened to me, and my belief is my belief. But my children have been raised, who are now teenagers, have been raised in the same belief system that I was in, and I'm stuck. Do I tell them, hey, your dad doesn't believe anymore, so don't believe either? Because they're gonna follow.
I think pardon my interruption, but I think you got half of it right there. You just said, do I tell them dad doesn't believe anymore, so you shouldn't believe? I think you just answered your own question, but half of that's right. I think you should be honest and say that dad doesn't believe anymore, and then instead of saying you shouldn't believe, you put a period after that. I think if you speak for yourself and let them have their own belief system because they're teenagers, that's what I would personally think would work. Even though I've never raised a kid, so I don't understand those dynamics like you do. But
well, I know that the problem is that they're taught. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, if I didn't have to go to church, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And it's like if that's not taught to them, every religion is taught. And if you like, I can't believe in Muslim because I'm not. I'm so void from that belief because it's not taught to me. If it was taught to me, I might believe that.
You said you got rocked. What rocked you? Was it an incident, or you mean you just changed because you looked at science stuff more? What rocked you?
I was a complete. I was very hard belief Christian. Then I went away from it, didn't believe, and it was a completely selfish piece of crap who treated everybody horribly. And then in my marriage, everything, and then came back in and rededicated my life and I was really living hard for it. My children being born was probably what did it to me to make me be more of it. And then lies and deceit afterwards. After I was came back and was doing better, it made me question. And if I was doing bad and when it fell away from a belief and doing bad and get rocked, hey, this is what happens. You don't believe, this is what happens. If there's a God up there and says, you shouldn't have waited until I believed again to have my entire world turned upside down because of lies and deceit, and then expecting to say you knew it was going to happen. If you're omnipotent, you know that I'm going to feel this way afterwards. Why are you going to wait until I believe again? I understand if I'm doing bad, you get treated bad, karma. But when I'm doing good, and then you're going to open my eyes into the horrors of the world. No, and that just tells me things are adding everything up.
So you just change. You evidence. See, I like people who change their opinion. I even respect people who didn't believe in God and then come to believe in God. Like, to me, we are too wrapped up as people in pride in our belief systems. I'm proud of my beliefs. And thank you very much for the call, Mark. I appreciate that. And my suggestion, by the way, like I said, would be to always be honest with them, but I don't think you can force them to believe the way you do. You found your way, and they'll find their way, which may be sticking with the religion or coming the way you do. Whatever their path is their path. But people who are proud of their belief system, I'm a proud liberal, I'm a goddamn proud Republican. Well, then you're a fucking moron. You're a moron. Because to me, to be that wrapped up in a belief system or an ideology means you ignore any evidence to the contrary. And I think that people who do that are not open. And you know what? We as human beings are contradictions sometimes. Like, I felt very strongly about the war in Iraq at one point. I believed in it. I thought it was right. And then you know what? I was wrong. I didn't believe in it after a while. And instead of being a twat and defending why I thought what I thought because I don't want to look bad or because I want to defend my belief system, I believe I was wrong. I believe I looked at it a way I look at differently now. But we punish each other for that shit. We punish each other when politicians, and again, there are wishy-washy guys that change their opinion for a few votes, and those guys are cunts. But, you know, if you have a change of heart about something, we punish you and say you're wishy-washy. So we don't allow politicians to have change of hearts. We don't allow each other to have change. But you said, you know, and I don't know. I don't believe in pride in a belief system. I think that we put too much stock in being married to ideologies, and I think that that's where we get stuck. Because then the whole thing is you're spent trying to shoehorn everything into your ideology. You're trying to defend your ideology instead of being open to new information. Okay, let's see. No, you don't need to do that. The low carb. Okay, hey, John in Rochester. Used to weigh 400 pounds, and now he's 280. Did the low carb diet. Hi, John.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good, thank you, buddy, for the call.
Hey, well, I got a statement and a question. Yeah,
okay.
About 2 years ago, I was 410 pounds, and I don't want to say low carb, but I cut out, in the last 2 years, I haven't had a cake, a candy, a chip.
Sure, what's
I
that?
cut out all that garbage.
Right.
In the last 2 years, and if you do a good, like you said, a good carb diet, and I eat the vegetables and the fruit, and it comes off, man. It's just cutting out that garbage. But the second part of the question I have for is I've hit like a plateau in the last, I don't know, I've been stuck for probably about 3 months now. Any suggestions on how to jumpstart that?
Do you go to the gym?
Yeah, I do go to the gym. I mean, I'm a truck driver. I do go to the gym. I don't go as much as I'd like to because of my job, but I do go to the gym. I mean, I know I've dropped 124 pounds, so plateau was inevitable, but I'd like to get it jump started again.
Yeah, your body plateaus, I think. And that's by the way, why I got trainers. Because, and I got two again, just because they're so busy. I want to do 2 sessions a week with a trainer plus my own. But you get caught up in your own routine, whatever that is, however often you go to the gym, whatever it is you eat. And sometimes they say you got to shock your body. You can't let your muscles get too used to stuff. Your body just adjusts to, like people in prison. It just becomes your existence. It becomes your life. Well, that's what your body says. Okay, this is where I am. This is what's going on. So I think to jumpstart it, I would suggest maybe talk to a nutritionist once and go through the diet carefully of what you're eating and say, what can I eat? What can I cut out here that is putting weight on me that I don't realize is putting or keeping weight on me? What combination might help and what exercise? Because how tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot. Now, you might have some extra skin that needs to be taken off eventually, so maybe that puts a little weight. But you could probably lose a good amount more weight on your own. And I'm going to guess exercise is a huge part of it. And you probably need to go in and shock your body a little bit. And by shock it, I mean just do stuff you're not used to doing. And you could maybe go online and find some really good exercises if you can't afford a trainer. Because I've got some great ab workouts and shit from being online. But that would be my suggestion from my minimal amount of knowledge in your life, is just to kind of shake it up a little. Shake it up a little bit, because your body is just used to what's happening, okay?
Okay, Jimmy, I appreciate it, man. I got a lot of the motivation from listening to you guys. When I was big and heavy, I always had the excuses. You guys said it was not an excuse when I listened to you guys in the morning. So I just want to thank you guys, because believe it or not, all the fun you guys make fun of people and talking about the airplane, sitting in the airplane and everything out, it does make you sit back and think when you're a big guy, these guys are right. It's about time to do something. So I just want to thank you, man.
Thank you, man. And congratulations. That's great that you lost all that weight, and keep going. That's really good news. And hi, Spencer in Florida. You said we somehow can't separate religion and recovery. Do you mean the collective we or you and I, Spencer?
I didn't catch that last part, but yeah, just kind of in general, because I've heard you. I've been listening to you, and I love you, by the way.
Thank you. Are you in recovery?
I actually, I'm a recovered addict,
cool.
alcoholic and addict.
Okay, cool.
And I help a lot of guys. I get the opportunity to sponsor a lot of guys, and obviously this God thing is the one thing that really popped up the most. And I didn't believe in God, and it's really just hearing the last. I think the guy before was talking about now he doesn't believe because something happened, and even that is kind of a self-centered way to do it. And I think that's why we have such a problem in believing in something bigger than us. And when you say the word God, just the word, the three little words, G-O-D, it just brings this flood of, Catholicism and Baptist church and what, and it's just not that. I stay as far away from churches as I can. I don't want anything to do with them, but I do believe there's something out there bigger than us. And even when I hear those discussions with Penn Jillette and he talks about things, really all he's doing is discounting religion, not necessarily a spiritual way of life.
Well, hold on, let me just jump in with you for a second, Spencer, because I agree with you. Like the problem is, and I think Doug and Stanhope and I talked about this too, and the word God throws a lot of people when they're getting sober and in recovery because God is mentioned in 12 steps and blah, blah, blah. Part of that is when it was written, again, as we talked about. And one thing I forgot, because I said God could be group of drunks, but somebody said, for years I've known God can be good, orderly direction. It doesn't have to be a deity. It doesn't have to be some people. And I think Penn believes in a non-spiritual, like a spiritual way of life could be helping other people and giving of yourself. It doesn't have to be a deity-oriented thing. There is a way to recover completely and be sober and have a great life and be a perfect member of society without having any belief whatsoever in a deity.
And even the good orderly direction. And people, a lot of times you hear people say, like, do the next right thing. I even discount that because, and I say this all the time, and is I don't know what the next right thing is. I did a lot of shitty things. I mean, stealing, just fucked over people. I mean, I did a lot of shitty things in my life and got suicidal and all that with the drugs and alcohol. I went through and was a horrible, despicable person. But to say that I shouldn't have done any of those things, I wouldn't be married today and have kids and the job I have and be where I am today had I not done all those shitty, horrible things.
Yeah, but
for me to tell someone to do, I don't know if you need to go out there and date that girl with 2 months of recovery and be taken for everything you got to realize maybe I shouldn't do that.
But we do know, but you know what we do know in a way, and again, there's always gray area, but let's be honest, without the semantics, we know the difference between right and wrong. Like you're saying, I shouldn't have done those things or I wouldn't have been married. That's happened to be the way it worked out, but I shouldn't have done bad things just because I shouldn't have done bad things. Like, I understand that sometimes good things come out of it, or, hey, look, if I hadn't been robbing that house, I wouldn't have run into 7-Eleven and met that girl. Like, okay, life does work out that way sometimes, but we can't live life, or I don't think we can live life thinking, hey, I can't tell people to do the right thing because by doing the wrong thing, they may luck up and have a life-changing, wonderful experience. I think most times experience tells us that if you do what the next right thing is, and look, dude, we don't always know what it is, but most times we have a good idea. Like,
I agree with you, but that's the argument with this, the choice in using or not. When the girl goes in the crack house and gets gang raped, she does not want to go back in that crack house again. But why is she there a week later? That's a lack of choice. She doesn't have that choice in there. And the thing is yes, we do know the right thing, and I don't mean to get into the semantics of it, but it's really just opinion. It's opinion in common sense. And I think that to bring it back to the religious thing, I think we're as a society in need of moving away from organized religion and realizing that there is something greater out there. And even people who use science and all that as a discount for God, you can't wrap your mind around the fact that this world is however many billion years old.
Spencer, I don't mean to cut you off. We have to. Eric gave me a 2-minute sign. I have another live read to do, and we have to end the show. So I'm not cutting you off because you're talking. It's literally the computer will shut me off. So thank you for the call. It was an interesting phone call, but we have to go because we have to end the show. All right, so, buddy, thank you for the call. And I think what Spencer's saying in a very nutshell is we all have our own way of looking at stuff. Some are organized religion. Some believe in nothing, like Penn, and Spencer thinks that there's something. I just think if people were a little more respectful about each other's fucking vibes, and again, that comes with not being so married to any one way of thinking, we'd all be a little bit better off. Thank you all for the calls. The phone lines were lit, so I apologize for not getting to everybody. Going to see Jimmy, how do I avoid looking like a douche? Bring a girl who will blow me. Protein supplement, I've used it, works great. Yes, so do I have that, Daryl. It's called Cum. If he's a truck driver, some truck stops have fitness centers. Okay, Rick, some of them don't. I'm 60 days sober. I'm starting to lose my belief in God. Well, give it some time, Ray, in North Carolina. Just keep coming back. As they say, bring the body and the mind will follow. Don't worry about your God belief right now. Just keep showing up. You're doing well. Folks, time is running out to get your mom the perfect gift. It's Mother's Day coming up. What is the perfect gift? A photo of Jim Norton's cock and balls, of course, but that's not always available. Well, Steven Singer, famous gold dip roses, of course, are the perfect gift when photos of Jim Norton's cock and balls are not available. It's the perfect gift for your mom, your mother-in-law, or the mother of your children. You know what? The gold dip rose is probably better. Because what are you going to do? Show her a picture of my fucking great cock and balls, and then she looks at your rotten cock and balls and doesn't want to fuck you because she's seen how good it can be? Of course not. A real long stem rose dipped in 24 karat pure gold. That's what Steven Singer is offering. This gift lasts. This gift lasts forever. And it's only, a gift is laughing. That's how the gift laughs. It's only $69, $69, get it? Yes, only $69. But listen up, you silly geese. You must order today by 5 o'clock p.m. to get free shipping in the U.S. or in time for Mother's Day. That's today. As I'm reading this, it is 5/11. Now, when you hear this later, it might be fucking later. By 5 p.m. Pardon me. So why pay for shipping? That's for free shipping. Steven Singer's real long stem roses come shipped in a beautiful gift box with your own personalized Mother's Day card. We give Steven a hard time when he's in because the man is a boob. However, his products are great, and they really are great, and we've all, honestly, off the air, given them as gifts. And they're great gifts. Steven Singer has special colors available only for Mother's Day. He does this every year. He comes up with some great shit. Check it out online right now at IHateStevenSinger.com. Order by 5 p.m. today, or you're going to miss out on the free shipping in the United States. Now, if you're from Canada, you still got to get it FedExed, but you're lucky you can get it at all. What, are you going to fucking bellyache? That's the way it is. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com. It's spelled Singer, but it's Singer. IHateStevenSinger.com. Or if you hate the fucking, the internet and you think the internet's for queers, go to, the phone. Pick up your phone and go 888-I-HATE-STEVEN-SINGER. But then again, maybe you're like, fuck the phone. I'm going to go online. IHateStevenSinger.com. But then again, maybe you don't like the computer because you're a paranoid asshole. 1-888-I-HATE-STEVEN-SINGER. SINGER. And I think that's the end for me today. Oh, I almost forgot.
Jim Norton is now done dealing with your